Hello, I'm Rivas Mayoki, but at my crib. Anyway, my hair finally looks good. I think I need to live in a area with more moist in the air. By the coastal area in Croatia, it's too dry, and my hair just falls flat down. It looks like I have a straight hair, and I guess I dislike having anything straight about myself. And that's about today, the segment called, I don't know how will I call this segment, provocative. Anyway, my theory about majority of humans and that they are bisexual. In my theory, the minorities are straight people and gay people, and I know that's the greatest fear of any straight person is to be called a minority. But that's just science talking for me. Because in sociology, which I studied, you have a Gauss curve, how do you call it? And you have that it goes like a bell, and extremes are always my minority, and in the middle there's people who are like normalized. The most people are in the middle, and if you take a sexual orientation as a spectrum, most people will end up in the middle, ergo bisexual. And that's the postulate, the theory that is not proven and can not be proven, because most people tend to identify with the extreme, either to migrate to gay side or to straight side, and to just say no, 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 I'm not in the middle, no, 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 I'm not ordinary, I'm not attracted to my gender, no, never, I can't even fathom that. But for me, I think that's a lie. Because the society is polarizing, and it gets more and more extreme about the opposite sides of the spectrum, and people are choosing sides because we are at war. And in war zone, people just choose which side of the border they will be. The middle of the Gauss curve stops being a place where people gather around the border and becomes a divider. If you fall down right, you're okay. If you fall down left, you're straight. I know I switched it up. It's annoying. So, my theory is that the straight people that are silent and are okay with gay people are the ones who are easy to believe the gay narrative that you were just born that way and you have no choice, and the society has to accept you because you have no choice. And I know there are people who have no choice and they're born that way, and like straight people, they just like can't like the opposite sex. But I think the loud majority of people who call themselves straight are in fact a bisexual people who, like me, are hard to believe that are you really born that way or is it a choice? Because when you stand in the middle like I do, I know it's a choice for me. And I believe you when you say it's not a choice for you. I respect you. Of course. Okay, it's not a choice. I accept. I have no problem with you existing there, even straight or gay. But most people who are scared that they can be persuaded to go that way, and who are scared that whole world will become queer, transgender, and not in their way, uh, they can be persuaded because they are bisexual and they can understand the attraction of the same sex. And because they can understand the attraction of the same sex, you can't ever persuade them with your label that I was born this way, because they too were born this way and they can swing both ways, but they just are raised not to, and they restrain themselves. And all the racket you can hear about what will happen if the world was queer, that everyone will go on orgies and be amoral and they will lose their compass. That's just what they would do if there was no moral limitations. Anyway, I too was brought up with moral limitations, and I choose, man. I choose to conform to my feminine form, and I'm happy with conforming. It's okay. It works for me. I don't have dysphoria, and I handle my life, even the strangeness of being a woman, and unsettling feeling I give to people when they realize that there's something skewed about me. I can deal with that. But there are people who can't deal with that, and they make a different choice than I did. And that's the war. You don't wage war about borders that cannot be crossed. You wage wars about borders that can be crossed. In Game of Thrones, I saw the wall in the ice. There is no people around that wall, and the wall that is not crossable won't cause any wars. That's why the Chinese Great Wall was built, to prevent wars. And when the border is like just a line drawn in the sand, everyone has a temptation to step over it, and you have to have a war to establish where the border is. And I think that this heated discussion that is raging around is just that. It's a war where we try to establish a border, what means to be straight, what means to be gay, what means to be transgender, and how do you differentiate it, make a difference between the two. Uh, I think it will be a good thing that I can't say big words in English, because I will say it simpler. Just a thought. So, I don't know. My theory is that majority people are bisexual and they conform to being straight, and they're fine with their choice. And when you challenge the status quo, they're like, hell no, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to choose again. I don't want to re-evaluate my gender, my sexuality. I just want to live. And the narration that got us here, we are born this way. Yes, the minority of people are born that way, and you have to let them be because they won't change, and it's rude to make people uncomfortable with their choice, even either straight or gay ones. Not choice, their born way, because they have no choice. But for us, the majority of bisexual people who have choice, I understand the bi erasure, because either side of the bi people who choose men or same sex or choose the opposite sex, uh, they don't want to admit that they can choose, because then they would lose the arguments and they would lose some of their ground they conquered in this long war for uh, sexual freedoms and gender equalities and everything. I too am a part of that war, but in a sense, I'm so much on the border that I can't really pick a side because, like the straight majority, I do choose straight lifestyle, but like the queer minority, because it's still a minority, I do have my queer identity. I am not straight. I'm just not. Not my gender, not my sexuality. And I don't know what about me is straight. So, just a food for thought to fight the bisexual erasure. I wage that bisexuality is a majority, but the majority that is silent, that does not want to admit that they turned to look at the behind of a good woman or a good man, and that they can admire features of their own gender, and that they can find people of their own gender attractive. They just choose not to act on it or to think of it as something great or big or meaningful. That's it. See you around. Bye.